um, actually, it's separated out already, I think, for inbound and outbound. The outbound route scale is 6.4 million. We were asking for V6, V4 breakdown there earlier as well. And there are a few 100,000 routes specified for inbound. In ACL as well, we don't know the difference between V4 and V6 ACL scale. Yeah, it will help to have the, yeah.
And I think that the last time we talked about that, we were still analyzing and we weren't quite sure what was going to happen. And when I talked to Michael Zigmut on the SDN team, he had said, we just can't really control what customers are going to do V4 versus V6 and the amount. And so his ideal was, of course, to make it configurable. And so that was the last I had heard on that. And so he is going to be down at the SmartNIC Summit, so maybe we can pick his brain a little bit there when he's there.
Sure, that sounds good. And yeah, so these two things we can ask a little bit. Maybe, you know, something like the customer ACLs, would they be more V6 oriented? The base ACLs, the first two stages, would there be more V6, V4? That kind of general idea would be good there. Yeah. Another thing that, you know, the number of flow scale entries today, as we have specified in the change in the scale document, we have reduced it from 64 million to 32 million, right? Now, we want to know whether first 16 million are the ones that are active and the second 16 million are the ones that are passive, actually synced and not really forwarded by the current any given DPU card. Half of them are active and half of them are passive.
So I don't have internet right now. I can't get to my notes. But Martha, do you remember? So Gerald had us take down that number.
Yeah. So
and those were active, I thought. Go ahead. Sorry.
All of them are synced to. All of them, they can be active. Especially in a they can be active because you have 16 active, 16 passive. But if one device goes down and one needs to take over, it should be able to have all 32 million flow active. And the hero test for all 32 to be active. So I think we should go with the assumption that all 32 are active and make them work that way. And in the real use case, probably it will be less, but yeah, the device should work with all of them active.
Right, definitely agree that, you know, when there is a failure situation where there is the HA partner is down, then the active will have to, you know, take over the passive entries also and do the forwarding there for sure. Yeah, but yeah, so it looks like it's quite kind of clear that half of them are passive, half of them are active, but we should go with the notion that at some point it will be all active.
Do we need some clarifying language in a spec somewhere?
I think it says there on the rows, it mentions, and it says a 32 with both. If you can open the hero test table, it has, I don't know, 6-7 words depicting this idea. That includes both active and passive or HA or whatever. It's a different term, I think, user, but same thing.
Okay, we'll take a look at that. And if there is anything, we'll add a comment there.
Maybe I'll just display the file here. We should be able to see it, right?
Okay.
Yes, it's right in the table mentioned. Yeah, where the table.
Maybe tell me in the contents, you know where it is in the contents?
Down a little further. Yeah.
In the middle of the page. I don't know. Just scroll, you will see a table. It's the one and only table. Too fat.
Yeah.
There. Perfect. There. So see, the note, it says bidirectional with connection pool capable of over subscription. So kind of this is,
Right. Over subscription sounds good. But yeah, for the most part, it will be half and half active and passive. And unless there is a failure case, then definitely everything has to be forwarded. Okay.
Yeah, it does sound like there's still a little bit of subtext that could be used to improve this. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had this conversation.
Yeah.
So if there's anything anyone can think of improving a couple of sentences somewhere, feel free to propose it.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
And the routes, it does say for routes, it doesn't say inbound or anything. It just say routes. So I think if we can break down into two rows, inbound routes, outbound routes will be better also.
I saw somewhere there was a breakdown of inbound and outbound, but I don't see it in this page for sure.
That may have been in the other document, that original document.
Actually,
I can take a peek. Yeah.
Well, I think that what we do in certain other working groups, like the P4 runtime, P4 API, when we have this kind of discussion and it comes up, we just make an issue right away and just say, hey, clarify, right? So I'm just going to follow that lead and say, let's say
hygiene.
Clarify.
It's specified in the dash SONiC HLD, but it will be good to copy it here too.
Yes, it is in the HLD.
Yeah.
And that's in this one right here, right?
So you go to general documents general, and then there's a SONiC dash HLD, a different document.
Yeah, we want to reconcile them, right?
Yes.
And also routes, right? Inbound versus outbound, and active versus active connections, right?
Yeah, active connections.
Oops. Okay. Yeah.
Inbound, outbound routes and active connections.
Yeah, the another thing which is missing in there is the scale of the meter policy table. So if we can
and
add
IPv4, IPv6.
There's the IPv4, IPv6
document here.
Yeah, in this document there is no scale listed for the meter policy table, but in the HLD there is a outbound meter policy table for outbound flow.
Okay.
And there's no scale listed either here, or I don't think I saw it in HLD either. So.
Are we causing trouble for ourselves by having specs in two places that have to constantly be reconciled?
Well, this was Prince's concern in the beginning for sure, but and I guaranteed him that I would keep them reconciled. So file the issue and I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just raising the question.
Yep. Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying though.
Oops.
In fact, I could even put a cross link into the hero test document too.
So Christina, the scale for meter policy table is not in either of the documents. So I think if we can add it, that would be great.
Meter policy.
Yeah, the meter policy table, that scale is not in any of the two documents.
Meter policy scale numbers.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm writing things down even though I'm not connected. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, this will help a lot.
Okay. Does this look like a decently worded issue, enough we can work with?
Yeah.
Just sort of trying to do it in real time. Okay. And
also, I filed an issue last week as well, number 382, for a question that came in, just FYI.
Okay. So yeah, Christian, I saw you had filed 382 PM P4 BMB2 pipeline source code question. Was that a
Yeah.
question from Todd? Was that right?
Yeah, that was the one from SOD. So I just I sent it over to the BMV2 working group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can speak to that. This is an old issue, and this is a bug because features were added or the tables were ordered initially in one way, but then additional lookups were added, which now doesn't make sense. So there is a bug, and I will fix that. ENI lookup needs to happen sooner. That's why we have this issue.
Okay, so this is this going to be a P4 source code change, and
yeah,
will we need to change test cases? What's the blast radius of this?
Test cases, hopefully not. I intend to keep all the same names. It will be just the reordering of the tables.
Oh, okay.
I think it's very old issue, isn't it, from Marianne?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
It's the same one.
Oh, well,
Okay.
good that was brought up.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and make a note in there when I'm back online and let SOD know and that kind of thing.
I'll just I'll make a comment right now in there that says
Oh, okay.
Marianne accepted
Fix. Need to fix. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to emulate my friend Andy Fingerhut, who just in real time is real good about updating issues. I've seen him in the P4 working group. Everything's very current, and that way you don't have all these extra stray notes to worry about. He just goes for it, right? Right, Andy?
I sometimes do that fluidly, sometimes less fluidly.
Another, yeah.
Go ahead.
Another request, Christina, as well, right? If it will be good to present the changes regarding the dash container in SONiC here sometime from Prince's side. The code changes or the features wise, both, a quick glance over all the changes would be good. A presentation here.
You want a presentation of that in the Dash community call or in the documentation?
Yes, please. In the Dash community call. Yeah.
Okay. I
Thanks,
can ask him. And then I know that Mercha made a couple of changes for formatting. I think it was line breaks or something, and to get his formatting in the
There's some pull requests here. Look at
369 go through. Did 369 go through after he made the changes? Do I need to merge or?
There are two PRs. One is to go before the other. One is the CI to verify for it, and one is the fixes for all the files.
Well, hang on. We just switched topics. Hang on. So, Christina, you mentioned 369, which is update to scale numbers. That was merged 2 weeks ago. Are you talking about?
I merged that, and I thought Gohan turned it back, and then Mercha tweaked it.
Oh yeah. That was fixed. The formatting was fixed.
Okay.
And subsequently, because the main problem was Unix versus Windows line endings, Mercha has now, and maybe you can speak to that. He's got 2 PRs. One gone through and made a massive sweep through all the files to make sure they all have Linux line endings. And then that's PR 379 on deck. And it's huge, right? It's got 136 files. And I hope you wrote a script to do that and not manually. And then there's a PR to automatically check that files have Linux line endings before a commit, like a pre-commit hook. Mercha, do you want to talk about these a little bit? And
yeah, I mean, you guys kind of talk, but basically my PR got rejected or undone 2 weeks back because I had Windows line endings versus Linux line endings. So then I took an approach of, okay, if that's the rule, let's make it for everybody. So I went through all the files and changed everywhere there were mixed line endings to Unix line endings. That's one PR, and updates about 200 files. Some of them update the whole file because all of it had Windows line, and some it's just a line or two which had mixed. And then I created another PR that adds the CI and the pre-commit hook to verify for this and not let those kind of mixed line endings get committed again. So there is no code change, nothing is just a line endings.
Yeah, and the issue is Git will show a diff if someone checks in a file in their editor and the line endings changes because the editor is so kind as to silently do it for you while you're editing, and then you push it to GitHub, suddenly the diff is gigantic. The whole file looks changed and it's really impossible to review. So does anyone have any objections to us standardizing on Linux line endings once and for all? Any objections to that? Okay. And is everyone okay with having a CI pre-commit hook that will check that so you can't check it in if it's wrong? Are we okay with that too?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
And it will automatically change the line endings for you to Linux, and then you'll be able to commit. So you do a commit, it will fail, and as part of the fail, it will change it, and then you can click commit button again, and it will be committed the right way.
So this is not even a this isn't even CI, is it? Is it? It's in your workspace.
It is in CI as well, because if you force it and you don't have the hook installed, then the CI is going to run and it will tell you, hey, it's failing.
Yeah, but in your workspace, what happens in your workspace? Nothing. It doesn't.
In your workspace, if you have the pre-commit hook installed, when you click commit button or you commit, it will run the hook and it will fail. After it fails, it updates the line endings automatically. And if you commit one more time, it will push it through since it already changed it for you automatically. If you have the hook. If you don't have the hook, it will just let it go through, but then the CI will catch it and fail it at the CI level.
I see. So this pre-commit config.yaml that's in the top level directory, that's equivalent to the pre-commit hook that GitHub will notice in your workspace.
You have to install the Python package and then do a pip install pre-commit. But if a failure happens, you will see a message, an automated message printed into the PR telling you how to install pre-commit, hook, and do all this stuff. So.
Okay, well, we'll cross our fingers. Thanks for doing this.
Look at the workflow YAML. If you open that one.
Yeah.
So one is a pre-commit hook and the other one is a workflow YAML. So if you click on the workflow, okay, I don't see the text. It's like, oh, I see the text now. If you scroll down, scroll. It will print you this message where it will give you the steps if you don't have it and say install this, do that. So it will self-document if it catches you with this. And as part of this, I have not enabled yet, but I can enable multiple things like Python, Flake, and pre-commit has support for many plugins. Nice. But for now, my purpose is to address, the things that I got burned for, which was line endings.
All right, thank you. This will probably also, any PRs that are in flight, this is going to possibly cause some, merge requirements for people. Right.
I mean, I'm already fixing all those, so I don't know if it will create conflicts once because it's modifying so many files. And another thing is this pre-commit, it's already used in SONiC. So I kind of it's ripped off 80% of it from there.
Well, then you less resistance, right? Okay, good. We'll approve these.
Awesome.
I'm working on 372, updating XCSC Snappy. I was hoping that Gon would review it because he reported the original problem, and I haven't gotten any review of this. So now it's behind other merges that we did in the last week, and I'm trying to reconcile it. I'll get that
ping him
in.
Internally. It was Z that you were looking for?
Yeah, pterosaur.
Okay. Yeah, pterosaur.
The terrifying one.
Yeah. I will ping him internally.
Thank you.
Or see if he's out of office or something.
Okay.
Okay.
That would be great.
No problem. Do that when I get back online. Okay.
And okay, so let's see what else there is. There's other PRs on deck. Prince had put it fast path design spec. I haven't reviewed that yet.
Yeah, that one has an update at the bottom of it. I looked at it this morning before I went offline. Can you click on it?
Yeah.
No, not the metering, the other one, the
Oh,
fast path.
that was just clumsiness on my part. Where are we?
I thought maybe it needed a review. I can't remember.
Yeah, a review. It needs reviews.
Yeah.
Marian has been requested to review it.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's on deck, pending reviews. And then VJ has been working on a fairly large PR for some time, and he's responded to feedback and updated accordingly. And so I think
that one was on Prince to approve. What does it say at the bottom? I'm trying to remember.
Let's see. There's still some. So we're waiting.
Yeah, I think there is one outstanding comment, which is the update to the HLD. So yeah, I'll sync up with Prince on that one. Okay. I think there are two places in the HLD where the wording, the verbiage is slightly different. So I think, yeah, we just need to consolidate and make it consistent.
Okay.
Okay. And I had an afterthought also. Do you intend to add any test cases, new ones, to test all these new features?
So currently I'm working on integrating Andre's changes for the SAI Challenger and then getting the skip test to pass. Yeah, and I think, yeah, right now I don't have any plans to add new test cases.
Is that a concern for the group? Because this metering change is pretty, significant. Do we want to have any test cases that show that the metering works, it counters count, etc.?
I think at least one test case.
Yeah, we'll probably need to do that. Do we just attach an issue to the PR for follow-up later? Is that how that works?
Well, that's one way to do it if we're eager to get this in, if there's something like pending on it.
Oh, okay. We can ask Brent. I can ask these guys. I can ask Prince and BJ on Monday how we want to do that.
Okay. Sometimes if there's
unless Prince is on the call, I can't see very well.
Yeah. If there's a PR like that's holding other things up, we want to sort of expedite it. Sometimes we say, well, let's get the PR in and we'll follow up test cases. That's one possibility. If there's nothing like urgently pending it, it's kind of nice to have at least a test case or two that confirm, hey, it's working the way we expect. If there's no emergency, and that's my preference. But I don't want to be stick in the mud either.
Sure. Okay, yeah, I'll check on that.
And VJ, do you need help in writing test cases for this? Is the test case writing from scratch kind of new to you, and you want some assistance in how to get going, or you want to collaborate on that? Or
yeah, so yeah, I think I've added the VNet out test case before for some of the other features, but not the SAI Thrift and the SAI Challenger test.
So which test did you add before? Was it a PTF?
That was the no, I think this was just the C driver program. I think it's called
right.
VNet out.
Yeah. There were some basic C++ SAI calls.
Right.
Yeah, as far as
right.
doing a test case with with traffic and setting up everything.
Sure.
From
Yeah, I
Dash,
think we can. Yeah. Yeah, I might need some help with that, so we can follow up with that.
I see. I missed some of the discussion, but we, from the Dash PTF standpoint, we have added some test cases for metering as well, and we plan to upstream them. If that will help, and yeah, it will take a couple of weeks, but we can upstream those test cases for metering as well.
What Reshma, thanks. What do those what features do those use? Are those using this new feature, or are they using like standard SONiC features?
This is Dash PTF only. The overlay test cases that we have added all this while, right? New additions to that is the metering, and that's related to the new metering that we have added in Dash recently. So yeah, it's
which metering? This metering or a different metering that was added?
I don't understand. So you're talking about the metering, outbound metering that was recently added into Dash, right?
Yeah, I think probably this PR is not merged.
Okay.
So I guess Chris is probably asking if did you like cherry pick this and then add the test?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we are using
the
latest metering, even though it is not merged. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, good for you, BJ.
I think so. Yeah. I'll double check and get back to you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's clarify this. That's why I was confused. Thanks for stepping in, BJ. It's like, how can you write tests for something we're still debating?
I think a lot of this has already been discussed, and there is already conclusion on that. Andy, you're sharing screen?
Yeah, Andy, did you mean to take? No, probably not.
Yeah, so
sorry, that was an accident. I don't know how it happened.
No worries. Voldemar, do you want to talk about it? We have some PTF test cases that we have added. I believe Yuri is not here, but maybe Voldemar Mitnick can talk about it. Yeah, basically, we want to add the test cases for metering, which is related to Dash. And today we have discussed the outbound metering, and our test cases are related to that. And we can upstream that at some point in a couple of weeks.
Okay. But maybe we can get clarification on that. Just it'd be nice to know for certain that, if this PR gets submitted without test cases, then we know that there's another team working on the test cases, and that way BJ doesn't have to duplicate his effort. And we also feel confident that test cases are coming soon, right?
Right. This is the only metering PR, Vijay. Is this a new one? I can double check on that.
Yeah, this is the only one.
This is the only one, right? Okay.
Yeah.
We already have reviewed this one. Yeah.
This PR has been covered a couple of times.
Yeah.
First, we went over it, ran out of time. We had to have a second. We covered it in a second meeting to finish it, along with some Q&A. And then we had brought it up for a couple of reviews. Yes.
I didn't know this wasn't merged. Yes, as Christina mentioned, this is the same one, then we are using this one.
I'm going to just make a note in here.
Yeah, outbound metering feature.
Okay, that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we can. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say we can get confirmation, then we'll while VJ is working on merging in some changes from Peel Vision to get all the test cases unskipped.
Sorry, Chris, I didn't understand your comment. Actually, we will be merging, upstreaming the metering related -PTF test cases from Intel.
Well,
in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Well, here's the confusion. If VJ does nothing with this PR, how can you upstream test cases against this new feature? That's my confusion.
Just to clarify that, the PTF test cases we're talking about is actually relevant to this PR, and as soon as this PR is merged, we can start reviewing those PTF test cases to upstream.
Oh, you just confirmed that then? Okay. So I'm going to change this comment. I want it to be making sense.
So glad my phone is tethering so I can be in this call.
Okay.
Pending PR merge or something like that. Yeah, we are sure that this PR needs to be merged, and then we, are going to upstream the test cases.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
Then it sounds to me like VJ, you get a reprieve if you can get the PR completed and we merge it in. Then someone else is writing some test cases. That's nice.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Intel is writing the test cases, and we will upstream it.
Awesome. Okay.
Since we have a second, this old one, 289 PR 289, I keep having it out there in email that it needs a volunteer. Is this still even an issue or a PR?
You're talking about the one to do some dependency checking.
Docker file side thread client has a static tag in the from instruction. That's the title.
It's a nice to have.
Nice to okay.
When someone takes the time, maybe it'll get done.
Okay. So we still need a volunteer for that one. Okay. I'll keep putting it out there then. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
We've been from time to time we pick up some Makefile and Dockerfile improvements, and this will probably get collected along the way at some point. Like Vincent made some recent changes that improve the ability to build different Ubuntus. And actually some of the techniques he used in there probably can be applied to this problem too, to take a look at it.
Cool.
And we've got a number of old chestnuts in the bin here.
Old what? Yeah, I can go through those too. I've been thinking about going through those because a couple of my changes I don't need anymore. So
yeah, and also as part of well, I think this was closed. I'm not sure Andre's on the call, but this one probably was closed by Peel Vision. I'll have to check it.
Okay. Can you tag him? Can you tag Anton and open up, tag him, and just ask him if it's closed?
Yeah. Andre. Yeah.
Thank you.
Let GitHub be the secretary, right?
Yeah. So did anyone else have anything since we've covered lots of PRs and issues today?
Nothing else. Yeah, nothing else from my side.
Great question. I may have talked about it last week. I don't know. Maybe I missed it. the update of the SAI to master. You have an update on that?
And so that would probably be a Prince or a Marian question. I wasn't here last week, or do you guys have a recap of what you talked about?
You know, Chris, what I'm talking about?
I'm sorry. There's some
Um,
conversations going on in the background.
Yeah, sorry. The SAI is taken from regimental, I believe, and there's an effort to move it to pick up master, I believe.
Oh, okay, got it. So yeah, that's another thing that we are still working on within Intel, that there is a breakage in the dash PTF in the SAI, OCP SAI, and once that is fixed, we will be able to move the pointer to the regular SAI, because we have a fix on top of that commit, which is needed for dash, which related to VXLAN, and that's still we're still sort of working on fixing that in OCP SAI, and then we'll be able to move the pointer there, if that was your question. That's it.
Yeah, you have a rough timeline for that? Because I know it's been complicated, so.
Right. Yeah, I think we'll have to prioritize that even more. I know that we have talked about it multiple times in multiple meetings for weeks now. So yeah, we are looking into it. Hopefully it will be done in the next 1 or 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then I guess I'll finish out. Does anyone have anything else? I just have one last thing. Okay, I waited 4 seconds. So I thought about having the community call next week, in person, live, doing it from the SmartNIC Summit. But then Chris mentioned we're all going to be so busy. You'll wonder, it's the keynotes, number one, and then we'll probably be busy doing other things. So I went ahead and canceled it. I hope that's okay with you guys, unless you'd rather move the call to a different day.
That sounds good, actually, to cancel next week to me. Yeah.
Okay. Everyone else, and I see someone thumbs up, so that's okay. Is that cool with everyone else?
Well, we get all our vendor bling on the trade show floor if we have to attend this meeting.
So
yeah, I don't think this is a very bling heavy conference.
Yeah, I don't know. The coordinators.
That's it then, Chris. I'm not going then. I'm sorry. I changed my mind.
The coordinators are some interesting cats. Let's put it that way. So,
when I was a budding electrical engineer, I used to go to something called WestCon, which was a gigantic trade show at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. It was full of trade booths. And by the time at the end of the show, I'd have a pocket full of LEDs, toggle switches, you name it. It gave out all these parts.
Funny.
Good old days.
Well, I was planning to do 2 sessions, one in the morning, one in the afternoon on Tuesday. I'm just right now the draft name is -101, just for not for us, but for new people who don't know, where I could do an overview, and if they didn't come to the morning, they could come to the afternoon one, that kind of thing. And I have a few other things planned for Tuesday, and then Wednesday are the keynotes from various members of different companies in the industry, and then Thursday, I believe I have 2 people from our software-defined networking team, Michael Zigmund, and you've talked to him before on this call, and Avijit are going to come down and do that disaggregation paper that they presented at Usenix. And then Thursday, I don't have a ton going on, so I'll just be wandering around. So anyway, that's all I have. I'm going to stop the recording. But if you guys have anything else?
Nothing else. On Tuesday, when you're doing the